Hey, what's up everyone? Aubrey Trades here, and welcome to another trade recap video. Man, oh man, oh man. It seems like the momentum is here to stay, with runners like AIAD spiking 122%. Also have EQOS going from $4 to $10 in the after hours. GNUS having a nice strong day, going from the 130s all the way to the 2s before getting up to 250 in the afters. The HX had a nice first green day here at the close. DRNG kind of hanging around. And can't forget about BKKT. Boom. I attacked this a couple times today myself. This thing going from 12 to 57 in the afters. This could be the next DWAC. Now, that kind of makes me a little bit sad because I'm remembering how DWAC treated its day 2 move with this massive gap up, ramp into the open, and then immediate just euphoric blow off top. Boosh. Right? Nice bounce. If it does that, I'm going to be looking for the bounce on BKKT. But I'm just going to be aware of that. If we get some sort of big gap up, I'm just going to keep it in the back of my mind that probably could do a nice big morning spike into a couple, maybe a couple up halts, and then just crash for the rest of the day. Just keep it there. Just keep it in the back of your mind so you don't get too, overzealous at the open. Now, today, I want to talk about DWAC and Fun both. They gapped up into Monday, which was really, really nice. And there were some really great trades here in the pre-market. But because the gap was so much, I mean, look at this range from 73 to 120. It just set us up to fade for the entire day. And even though, as a day, it didn't look great, but this is a really nice consolidation setup here on the 5 and 15 minute chart. So if we gap up, and on DWAC, look at this. We're already kind of breaking that trend a little bit at the end of that after hours there. So if we gap up a little bit, this could set us up for a third day surge type play here. Still kind of hanging around. It's held up a lot more. It's only pulled back about like 50% of its big gap up here. So we could easily see a big push tomorrow. If that happens, I got my eye on Fun, I got my eye on the warrants, I got my eye on all of the sympathy plays that we outlined in the previous video. But because today they sort of failed, just threw all those out the window, and we will go through the trades I made. Ended the day up $36. Thank you. Feels good to be green, but that's green despite getting a little overzealous, making sloppy trade decisions, and not being as focused or as disciplined as I could. I got really caught up in the morning euphoria. We'll get into it. Yeah, we should do it in order. If we go to working orders, no, filled orders, there we go. Let's do it in order. So first trade I made was Fun W. Right, so this is rule break number 1. I'm getting into a trade pre-market. Here, risk here at 8 or 7.79, right? I'm thinking that we had this trend break from the pre-market structure. I'll zoom out. Boom. This is my rationale, right? Getting in on the trend break here. Had this morning spike and a quick fail, got stopped out here is what it is, and immediately pivoted into other trade ideas. But because I put a whole ticker max loss on this, $20 per ticker, and the slippage made it 25, but it stung, right? $25, I'm down on the day. Ugh. So I immediately then go into Duo, HX, and SGOC, right? So here's Duo. I get into early into the day, holding up. We go to this daily chart. This is showing up on the scans. So kind of breaking out of this downtrend. Had this nice first green day on good volume, hanging around the highs. So a good potential for a spike. So we got in at the beginning of the day, risk on low of day. So 142 risk on low of day, 132. So 10 cents of risk. Took, about an R out of it if I had sold here at the tops, but I was taking more of a bigger intraday swing mentality on it. But once we sort of broke down here into 135, it just seemed like too much of a pullback, so I figured I would sell out on the retest of the highs. Once we got back over VWAP, I added I didn't get the best entry on the ad here, but added some extra weight at 147, basically 148. This ended up being such a scalp though for the extra size. I could have waited like six more minutes and gotten into the 151 range, but I don't know, just not great. This whole ad, not great. Even though it did get me $14 back. Ended up getting into HX, which was popping up, and HX I feel like I've covered in one of these videos. Look at all the times I tried playing this, but look how down this was. Perfect candidate for a first green day. So we got in the morning. Ended up giving us the big pop. Like, this is such a weird price action, but I got long here at 608. So again, not the best entry. And here, what's this entry? 36 for funsies. Look, 45 would have been the safe entry. Here you go. Boom. You get the low a day clocked. You get a higher low clocked. Then you take your entry on the pop back over to VWAP. Right? And I ended up getting an ad here on the pop back over to VWAP. So the one thing I'll give myself on this entry is I know I can only risk low of day. And in my mind, this is the range, 878. So if that's what I was looking for, I wasn't mad at that entry. Yeah. Anyway, so added here when we popped back over to VWAP and sold out a little bit early at 611. The spike took you to 630. That's okay. I took a piece out of it. I got, nice $5 out of it. But the real beauty of a move was here at 1142 Pacific on this nice pop back over to VWAP, hold, and then ramp up. Nice little, I don't know if that was like a short cover or what, but now we got this little bit of a base here forming, which is really, really interesting. We kind of have this 680 as a level, right? We got a touch here in this after hours. We got a touch here, touch here, touch here, touch here. Seems like a little more significant level to watch. And then SGOC, thank goodness I traded one of my plans, right? And we talked about this being really great if it gapped up over the trend line, but it didn't. Even though it didn't gap up over the trend line, we still had this nice hold of 580. That was a super bullish development for me. And then when it started to come up at the open, I took the long at 6, figuring that the potential was this retest of the 660s. So it seemed like some good risk reward. Took $20 risk off of 580 and sold here at 622 as we were on the way down, closing underneath the HMA, following the plan, even though from an intraday swing perspective, that was a really, really great spot to add on the VWAP test. Took you back down to 616, could have threw another $20 risk on here, like maybe on this candle, and you throw the risk on 616, right? That'd be kind of nice. Then you could have tight risk and get in at 620, risk 2 cents a share for $20 risk on your ad. And then you can take this all the way back up to what, 640s, and you're doubling, or you're taking an R on your ad for every 2 cents. That's the ideal way that I'd love to play these, with a bigger picture mindset. But anyway, I can't be mad. I got to make some money. This put me a little bit closer, got me back, right? So between that and Duo, we're kind of making back our loss from Fund W this morning. And then we get into GRNQ, and GRNQ, I will tell you, was hard. GRNQ was difficult. I attacked this all of the times. Show me the times of attack, please. There we go. Cool. Okay, so got long here at 206. 66 is probably like $5 risk or something at 206. Sold half at 2. I de-risked at 2 because I wanted this trend break to be stronger. This is what I was initially getting on this trade, was this trend break here, right? So bam, and then sold the other half at 208. Could have gotten a better sell-off there, but once we failed twice, it's like, okay, you know, this isn't the time. We're gonna retest. Took it again when we popped back up over VWAP and consolidated some. I got long again here for this trend break, tighter risk, so I took 500 shares, loser. Tried again, 500 shares, loser. Right? Which, you know, I'm proud of my instincts because I got out here at 96 right before this big knife candle that took you down to 178. That would have been really, really tough to cut the loss at. But anyway, so at this point, most of my buying power is gone. And I'm like, I went from being up on the day, up to this point, I was up like maybe $10, $12 to being down 40. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'll say 500 shares oversized. No excuse. Oversized on these two goes. If anything, I know that my trend break plays have a habit of being early. So the proper way to handle this was I'm going to get long for the trend break. I'm going to risk here. I'm going to risk, 190s. You would have gotten stopped out, but at this point in time, you know, if you want to set it super wide, you're risking 175. Okay, so $5, risk 175. You can add another bullet here when this holds. Take your next bullet here, and then you get a nice trade. Not what I did. Tried to just go all in at once. Shouldn't do that. So okay, anyway, so most of my buying power is gone, right? Then it starts to happen, and I'm like, oh, I can't have another DWAC W situation where it's like I tried to get the breakouts 2 times and it failed, and then I'm not able to take advantage of the actual move. I'm like, this is the actual move. It's happening right now. Like, okay, fine. Long again. 200 shares because I set it to increments of 100, and that's as much as I could do. I'm like, okay, I'm setting the risk too wide. 200 shares. I gotta set the risk to 175. That's it. That's what I gotta do. Once it started to work, I added another 50 shares, which was again as much as I could do with the buying power I had left at 202. Once the trade confirmed that it was going to work, and then got the sell here at 228. I missed out. Top of this candle is 237. So I left about 9-10 cents on the table. That's okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at leaving 10 cents on the table. Got 21 bucks out of it. This alone, this trade is the thing that made the day profitable, which I think is just so funny because here you have 2 times where I'm trying to sling the big size to make the move, right? But it's when I set the wider risk, and I let the trade plan out. I love this ad because it's here. It's after the pullback, after the confirmation, at the beginning of this ramp. This is 202. It's right here. Boom. This is the thing that makes me proud of my day. This is how I want all my trades to work. And then to close it out, we got BKKT. I had enough buying power for a single share, and it means nothing, but I wanted the practice. It is the pattern, right? Here's our trend break pattern. And if my thing wants to show it, there you are. Okay, so I get long here for the trend break at 25.09, knowing that I got a risk, here, 23. But again, it's a single share, so I'm not really concerned. I'm just like, here's the trend break. I'm gonna set, I'm gonna set my stop right here. I'm gonna let this play out. Ended up playing out, and I got rid of it at 27.55, even though clown mode, boom, high of 57.50 in the afters. Absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. And then I took this, I guess, once here around that 11:30 bounce time. We had held, we popped back over VWAP. We're consolidating. You had this down. You had this support here, but then also, here's what you're looking at. Boom, right? It's kind of got that going for you. So I get long on this pop. Over 1594, boom. So I got it. I got filled at 1611. Got the sell off at 1625. This thing I think went to 1648 or 1650. So left some on the table, but again, pretty good at timing these trend break pops. This seems to be. I've been talking about this as the pattern, but just more proof. This is the thing that I do well on. So going into tomorrow. I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to have to be really, really patient because I was only supposed to use half of my total buying power today so that I could use the other half tomorrow. Or basically it's like I had 5,000 that I was only trying to spend like 2 or 2,500 on, and I ended up spending all of it. So I'm only going to have like 1,500 or something tomorrow to play with in ammo. So I got to be extra choosy on the plays that I take. That means I can't trade like I did today. Like I did today was too much trading. I got to be extra careful. Only take the setups that are the best, right? Probably going to try and avoid the 11:30 bounce. And see if maybe there's a good afternoon runner that would be worth taking for a swing, because it seems like we're getting a lot of after hours Momo right now, so keep that in mind. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I know this was a longer trade recap video, but there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. If you got value out of this, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing and leaving a comment down below. Let me know what you're doing to improve your trading and what you're watching. Till next time, I'm Aubrey Trades. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video.